Hey, what's up, Fade Clinic family? It's DJ Clark Kent from the Fade Clinic, back with some more tips and tricks from the Fade Clinic. So, got a special guest here today. It's my son. Don't he look like me? This is Carson, y'all.
What's up?
All right. So, getting ready to do a quick video on how to properly do a mid shadow fade. All right, so make sure y'all can see me. So step one to a shadow fade. First thing you want to do before you start cutting, clean all your tools. Clipper side kills all the germs, 99% of all the germs. All right. Once your clippers are clean, all right, once your clippers are clean, pump your chair up. First thing you want to do is comb through the hair. Make sure all the hair is even and stretched out as far as possible. So with a mid fade, we're going to be looking at exactly what it says, the mid area of the hair, of the head. So a mid fade. So I want my fade to be in the middle of his head. So I'm going to take all the hair up just below the middle of the head to give me some room to show my fade in the middle. So these clippers are not zero gap. So when you do a shadow fade, you want your clippers to be in a fully closed position. There's still a little bit of a gap between the guard and the teeth. So that's what's going to create your shadow fade. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in my first line, which I call it the shadow line. All right, if you take a look, you'll see I've taken all the hair off from here down. Some people will start right here and work all the way around, leave this hair down. Well, I'm so OCD, I can't do that, so. But it will speed you up, true enough. So I've taken all the hair off. This is my shadow fade. So the next step, I'm gonna go to a fully open position with my clippers. And I'm gonna put in my second line. Oh, and if you notice, I start on this side, and I work my way all the way around to the other side of the head. And why do I do that? I do that merely because of consistency from one side to the next. If I start on one side, work my way all the way around, I'm gonna stop exactly where I stopped at on this side as I did the other side. All right, so that's pretty consistent from one side to the other. And this particular line, these lines don't have to be perfect. Of course, the better you get them, the better your fade's gonna look. But like I say, second step, put your second line in, go fully to your fully open position, no guard as you can see, and put in your second line. Starting from one side, going all the way around to the other side. And the width I use is about a finger's width. So put that finger there. But here's one of my tips. That point, I never go past that point when I'm fading up. In this area, I keep this area as dark as possible. So I never fade into that area until I get to a very high guard, like a 1.5. So second line, I'm gonna put the second line in. All right, now, now you can see I got my second line in, my shadow line, my fully open line. So my third line, I'm gonna skip the half guard and I'm gonna go to the number 1 guard and I'm gonna put in a third line. I'm gonna start out fully open just to make sure I don't mess up. So it looks like that fully open is a real good position. So I'm gonna run that number 1 guard from one side to the other. All right, now, so you can see I got 3 lines in there. I got my shadow line, my fully open line, and my number 1 guard line, all right? And as you notice, I didn't worry about taking these lines out yet. So once you get all your lines put in, that's when you start to take them out. Because what you're doing, you're creating a rough draft. Do your rough draft, put all your lines in, and then you come back and remove your lines. And the tip to this is, or the trick to this is, whatever you put the line in with, that's what you get it out with, all right? So my shadow line, going back to my fully closed position, it's not 0 gapped. And I'm gonna take out the shadow line. And it is a little bit of a scooping motion. All right, Got my shadow line out. Next line is the fully open line. I'm gonna remove that line. All right, now got my first two lines out, and it's very difficult to see that third line because I'm a master barber. I've been doing this a long time, so I can get the line out without using that one guard. I can get the lines out using my fully open position with no guard. So it's pretty easy to do. As you cut, and you'll see how that it'll eventually come out. And basically what I did was, instead of laying the clippers flat on the head, I use what they call a raking position. So as I elevate my guard, and I'm scooping, the flatter you are on the surface, the deeper the cut is. The higher you raise up, the higher the cut is. So I raise up and I scoop outward. And that helps to create my fade. So now I'm in the tall grass, as I call it. So my next step, I'm gonna jump to my 1.5, which is my next guard up. I'm going fully open, and I'm gonna basically put in another line. But this line you won't see. This is more just creating a blend or transition from the thick hair into your blend, into your fade. Y'all see any lines? I see one. Right in here, where I put my one line in, my one guard line in. So I'm gonna go back, make that transition real nice. So I put it in with the one fully open. Take it out with the one fully open. Okay. Well, not quite getting that line out, so I'm gonna ease down about halfway. Okay. Just pulling that line out now. Making that transition smooth. but there's a little bit of inconsistency in this area right here. So I'm gonna go back fully open. So you remember I went halfway, but now I'm gonna go back fully open and make sure my consistency is smooth in this area right here. So please understand that all heads are not created equally. All hair all over the head is not completely level, not completely round. So you do have to guard finagle. Basically what I mean by that is put on a higher guard, try to remove your lines. If that don't remove your lines, go halfway with the same guard, try it again. If it don't remove the lines, continue to ease your way down. Take the guard off, go to the half guard, try to remove the line. If the line still don't remove, you just inch your way down in guards and inch your way down with the lever until you get the line out. Because that line will come out. But as you're inching your way down, please understand you don't want to take a guard off and go lower and go higher on the head. You want to stay down low. You want to stay with that line. You don't want to go up past that line. All you want to do is just go stay with that line, trying to remove it out. So now, we're looking really good on the fade. Like I said, it's a really quick fade. I'm gonna put the number 1 back on. I see a little inconsistency here. I'm gonna go fully closed, because in this area, I do remember I was halfway, so it don't look exactly like I want it. Okay. Yeah, so that's looking better. I'm gonna go back open. I need to go a little bit higher up, so I adjust my lever back fully open. Okay. I'm gonna go back fully closed. I see a little bit of line right in here. It's looking good. All right, now I'm gonna comb through it again. See how it looks. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Looking good. All right, I do see a few lines right in here. So I was using a 1 guard. So I'm gonna drop down to my half guard, fully open. Let's see if I can get that line out. Yep. Taking it out right there. Go fully closed. Scooping motion. Okay. It's looking good. Comb through. All right. I'll take the guard off and tweak this line here. I still see it. It ain't perfect. Like I say, I'm OCD, so I like my fades so close to perfect. The human eye can't detect any imperfection. So now, after you do your rough draft, now what I'm doing, I'm doing my detail work. So I'm making sure there's no lines, making sure my transition is smooth. So this is artwork for me. This is just not cutting hair. This is called artwork for me. So that is true. Cutting hair is a form of artwork, says the young buck. And he is right. Okay. But as you can tell, that half guard I was using, I keep it in my hand just because I might need to go back to it. Because I might need to go up a little bit higher and do a little more detail work. All right, now I got my fade looking really good. Looking really good all the way around. This section here, it is a little bit. Okay. While you're cutting, another tip, have your brush, clean the hair off your brush. Because you don't want to take that cut hair and put that hair from your clippers back in the hair, because it complicates your fade. It'll get back onto the hair and you can't really see clearly what you're doing. Always keep your brush in your hand. Brush that hair off your clipper.